Hello and welcome to Auto Spec Bits. We've got Wes here and Comp behind the camera. We're out on a road trip, or about to embark on one. A really cool trip of North Carolina to Baltimore. Tell us about this Spark, Wes.
So this is the 2016 Chevy Spark we got for the Grand Fizz, which, if you don't know, is a challenge where we got an under $5,000 electric vehicle to do a 500-mile road trip, which is pretty insane in this car because it has maybe 60 miles of range and DC fast charging that works kind of when it wants to. It has compatibility issues because it's a early version of some CCS protocols or something, and so it likes to work at charge point chargers but nothing else, or rarely, and sometimes it doesn't work at charge point. It's chaotic, to say the least, but it's got 47 thousand miles on it. It's been run like crazy, run around the track, but it's still going strong. And we've got these new tires because we wore them out on the track, the old Landvigators, which were $27 per tire. Some of the cheapest tires I've ever seen. I don't know how you make money on that. I don't know, but either way, the cheapest tires we could find, and we're gonna take this. It's over 230 miles on maybe 50 to 60 miles of range at highway speeds on this. So it'll be fun, especially with chargers that may not work.
My chase car or pilot car is going to be the 2013 Model S, nicknamed Joyous, because it's a joy to drive. I've got no qualms about it. It's got some zip ties holding things together on the side here for the bumper. Kyle's the boss. He is going to go through a whole revamp of this thing. The large drive unit needs a little bit of bearing work. It needs a little bit of love here and there. He's going to come up with a series called Trash or Treasure, and I'm like, it's treasure. There's nothing but treasure here. So this is going to be the car to get us back from Baltimore, and I've got good hopes in the Spark, regardless of its slow charging and its not ability to charge it everywhere. I think that it's going to do great. It's done us great here around the track, ripping around. It's like a little golf cart, and unfortunately Wes has got this thing to rip around, but the air conditioning works well. It's swampy in North Carolina right now, and I think all along the eastern seaboard it's going to be swampy and hot. So
yeah, GM likes their good air conditioning, so I'm excited about that.
Exactly. So we're about here to head out from the track, and we'll keep things updated as things go. We've got very different charging infrastructure, and unfortunately, yes, I'm free unlimited supercharging, so I'm going to be supercharging only. And what kind of charges are you looking for out there?
So this is, of course, CCS only, but because of compatibility issues, I think it's stuck to EV Go and ChargePoint is kind of what I'm going to have to go between. And that's pretty much it, because this has problems, I think, with EA, and especially the Pilot Flying J ones apparently have a lot of issues. So it'll be fun. We'll see. Should try things.
Do a little leapfrogging, and hopefully we can get some good drafting.
Yeah, we can tow charge, draft behind something. You know, we'll do something. We'll get there.
We'll make it. All right, we've got Wes's first destination looking like it is Petersburg.
Yeah, about 56 miles, I think. And yeah, it should be fine to get there. We're just going to take it a little slower at highway than like 70, probably 65 at most. And then I'll try to find things to draft behind. If you got semis that usually go 65, somewhere in there, just stay close to them. It'll help your efficiency a pretty substantial amount.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
All right, let's see where my first charging stop is. Stony Creek, Virginia. So I think I'll be pulling off before you in Stony Creek.
Okay, so right before me. Well, that'll work out. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
So my charging stop shouldn't be longer than about 20 minutes, because if you don't know, this car, while it is, you would think with a small battery it's going to charge terribly, because you think the charging curve would be like a car that is newer. This car charges at full speed, like 45 kilowatts, all the way to 95%. So the amazing thing is our stops are no longer than like 20 minutes. It's just a lot of stops. So that's cool. Makes it better than a lot of older cars. So I'm just now leaving the track. We are looking at what it projects right now is 53 miles of range, which wouldn't quite be enough to make it, but you know, this is a guessometer, and we drive the heck out of this car just driving it around town. So the efficiency might get slightly better, actually. And yeah, we're gonna get on the highway here shortly, and I've reset our trip meter there, and we'll see what our efficiency is to help us gauge about what we can get. Because if you don't know, this car does have about 15 kilowatt hours usable, which is pretty tiny, but the efficiency is great. So we've gone 8.5 miles. My efficiency's gone way up, like I figured, and we're doing 4.3 miles per kilowatt hour. But so you know, to make it to our destination with the battery capacity we have, we should, I think it's a minimum of about 3.9 miles per kilowatt hour is what we have to do. So if we can keep up here like this, so what I'm doing is I'm kind of drafting behind Comp, and we got a semi in front of him. So it really makes a trail of low drag there, or low frontal air coming at you, which is really helping. So if we can stay up here at 4 something, we're gonna have no problem getting there and making these longer jumps. Well, a quick update, we've done 21.4 miles now, and we still have 40 something miles of range, and looking to be on the top end of that at upper 40s. So at 4.5 miles a kilowatt hour, we'll have no problem getting there. We are still kind of drafting behind both the semi-truck and Comp, and it's definitely helping. I mean, doing nearly highway speeds at 4.5 miles a kilowatt hour is absolutely insane. So we'll be able to do some pretty good long legs with this, no problem. I have never been able to do experiments like this, and it's truly insane. We're doing 4.8 miles per kilowatt hour at highway speeds, probably an average of 65 miles an hour, just drafting behind Comp and the semi. That's nuts. I mean, that's like, this is like 70 some miles of range, or maybe 70, 65, 70 on this, but at that highway speeds, that's so efficient. If you could do this with a long range car, we could go across the freaking US. We've driven 53.4 miles, 17 miles of range left estimated, and we're on some back roads to get to the charger, but no problems. This is just the route that it took me. And yeah, we're doing really well. The efficiency is incredible. 4.8 miles per kilowatt hour so far. Absolutely insane. If we can keep this up and keep drafting like this, we'll have no problem with in terms of our bouts between chargers. The next issue though is coming up, which is, can we charge? We have made it as 57.3 miles driven and 14 miles of range left to a, what I thought was EVgo, but it's a GM Pilot, which is not what I wanted to go to, but I guess EVgo GM partnership is part of the confusion with that. Anyway, we're gonna try it. You know, we'll see what happens. We have plugged in here and it is connecting to vehicle, but it's taking a while. I'm a little worried. In my experience, I feel like the Spark has to be off to want to charge to start to anyway, so that's what I'm doing. Might give me the best chance. I'll let you know if this changes. Not looking too good, so the charger just times out. If you can see on the screen over there, anyway, it just times out after like 3 minutes. And this is what we're stuck with, and there's not a whole lot around. I think there's some dealerships that have level 2 chargers and some DC chargers. That's about it, and there's a bunch of rain coming in, so we get to troubleshoot in the rain and try to figure this out in the rain. Super exciting, wonderful. Well, here's the plan. So we have 13 miles of range. We've got to drive 13 miles to a dealership which has level 2 chargers, a 50 kilowatt older charger that may be compatible with this, and Comp here is going to let me draft. All right, so this is not the best ideal situation, but no Pilot Flying J for the rest of this. We're just gonna stretch it to charge points. And like I said, this is a group of dealerships, which is like a Nissan, Volkswagen.
Turn left onto State Route 630.
Got a GPS
Then at
going.
the next light, you'll turn right.
But basically, we're gonna try that and hope that I can get there. I think if we do some hardcore drafting, we might just get there. And if you haven't seen the run to zero on this particular Spark, it has about 1 mile past zero. So that's why we're a little like, okay, this is going to be fun because it really doesn't have any buffer. And right now it's 11 miles to go and 12 miles on the guessometer. So we are charging, we are at around 50% at 45 kilowatts, just going to hold that all the way to the top. So basically, we've gotten things figured out. We need to see if the BP Pulse Alpatronic units actually work with this car. And if we know that works, then we can go to all of those chargers with that hardware. So we're going to figure that out, and that's only 33 miles from here. And then if that doesn't work, we should have, I believe it's another charge point that is our backup. And then we'll know exactly what we can do for the rest of the trip. But now that we have a charger that works, this is really no problem. We can hold a pretty solid charging speed all the way to 90%, and just, as long as we're charging at full speed, just sit here and charge, because we're going to do it down there or right here either way. So there's no reason to unplug early like most cars, because this car just charges remarkably well for I think it's an 18 kilowatt hour battery, but right now it's got about 14 something to 15 usable. Charging at 46 kilowatts to 90% is like, that's amazing.
Tapping to pay, waiting for EV, charging.
Oh, okay. Now,
Charging.
sometimes these will fail within a couple of seconds.
Okay.
So let's give it a second. I think we're
10
good.
kilowatts.
Charge point is usually good, but we're gonna make sure.
15 kilowatts.
Give it 5 more seconds, and I think we're okay.
Yes. This was clutch.
Okay, I think we're good. Thank goodness. Thank you, Charge Point. We're gonna try to stick to Charge Point.
Thank you, Hyundai.
Yes, and Hyundai. Where are we at? Colonial Hyundai.
Beautiful units here.
All right, we're good.
Charging. We're charging.
What's up, bro?
Not much, man. 45. Nice.
Oh, it'll hold that all the way up.
Okay, excellent.
Boy, just rides that the whole way to the top. It's amazing. So we have gone down to 33 kilowatts at 86%. This is plenty to move on, so we'll just move on from here and head out and see if the other chargers work, the BP Pulse. It is raining a bit now. We've done over 100 miles and we're coming up to our second charging stop at these BP Pulse stations, and we've got a decent bit of range left. We only got, well, 0.3 miles to go, not much at all. But overall, going well. As long as these chargers work, I don't think we're gonna have too much problem. This car's really fast charging is what makes it not as miserable as you would think based on the range that it gets. So it is preparing charging session, or initializing. We got payment good. But so far I haven't seen anything on the screen. Usually that will pop up as soon as it accepts, or we'll see the green light up there on the dash. So what we are doing right now is essentially seeing if, right here, this is an Alpatronic charger, if these Alpatronic 400 kilowatts are, if these work. I believe Iona is the same chargers, and so if we can get these to work, then we'll have a lot more options to charge at. Well, this is the current situation. The rain is so bad, it's kind of like flash floods in the road, and the Alpatronics do not work. So I guess it's a blink charger, which I've had issues with this car in the past also, or charge points. So we really hope for the best, because we got a good ways to go still, and I got to get out in this to freaking charge. So my backup doesn't work like I suspected, and I'm soaking wet. This is fun. 6.5 miles. I have to go back the direction we came to go back to a charge point, and then I'll have to try and stretch it like almost 60 miles all the way to the next charge point that we have available. But at least we have the range to do it. So what we've done instead is, this is a pretty big Electrify America. We don't know if it works on this, but it's right beside the charge point, so we're going to see if it works. And then, yeah, I'll keep you up to date. We now have 14 miles of range, but the charge point is right beside here, so we should be just fine. The BTC Electrify Americas did not work also, which is not great news. Basically, nothing's working. I don't know what's going on here, so this might get even more exciting. They are green, which means they have power. I see. Oh, there we go. Start charging. So it might work, but I don't know what in the world's going on with this other than...
Hopefully it's just landscaping.
Yeah, they're just maybe keeping people out from falling in the holes. So because I thought it was the closest charger to the Electrify America, I thought this was a charge point, and then looked again. Obviously it's not. Anyway, it's 2 more miles the other direction, so we're going to go and try the actual charge point even further away from where we need to be. And we've made it to the charge point charger, and shocker, would you guess it, it's completely full and we have to wait. Oh boy, we've driven 100 miles so far today, and we've driven for 4 hours to go 100 miles. That is, and now we're waiting. Boy. All right, so this is what we're doing now. At least we have a charge point charger, which these should work, we hope. We actually have someone moving, thank goodness. I'm in the strike position, ready to take off. Well, we put in about 14 on there at the screen there. We put in about 14.9 kilowatt hours from not all the way dead. But we have a 45 miles to go to get to the next charge point charger, and it's going to take an hour and 12 minutes. So we might get home to the track at like 4 a.m. tonight. And one thing I think is funny about this car is if it had charging compatibility similar to like a Chevy Bolt, which is what I've had before, really road tripping this would be no problem. Like a 200-300 mile road trip, you would have to stop a lot, but if you don't mind just taking your time and cruising, you're doing like 5 to 90% in less than 20 minutes. And yes, that's only 50 something miles of range maybe, but if you don't go too fast and you take your time, I mean, it's pretty fast charging. It's just getting the dang chargers to work that is really the issue that has messed us up. If we could just charge anywhere, we could just pick within, 5 to 15% and then get there then and charge all the way up. We made it to the charge point chargers at a Hyundai dealer. And so these are Hyundai branded chargers. We shouldn't have any problem here, fingers crossed. I'm going to start initiating charge and I'll let you know how that goes. Yeah, it looks like the charge points are good because we are going now ramping power up. Let's look at details here if I can. I don't know how to do that. Either way, we're good. We're 48 kilowatts, and as voltage comes up, our kilowatts will come up just a little bit. And we basically have, I think, this and one more charging stop, and we can finally freaking get there. This has been a very fun first half of the trip. The second half is, other than traffic, going pretty well once we know that we have to use these charge points. Well, we've been here only 14 minutes, already 91%. That's plenty to go 42 more miles to the next charge point at a Subaru dealer. Well, I'll say goodbye to the good Hyundai, really nice clean dealer here. But we are basically fully charged. I unplugged at 98%, so now it's saying fully charged. We're gonna get on the road. It is 42 miles to the Shihi Subaru dealer in somewhere north of here. Keep this in mind, guys. We have gone 182 miles, and 20 of that was having to go back and forth to chargers. And we left here probably at the track at like 11:30, and now it is 6:25. And we have to go, like, 80 more miles. This is insane. Of course, the first part of the trip was slower, just figuring this out. But we've had still tons of traffic and just not the most ideal traveling. Kind of crazy, but we are getting there. Another successful charge at the charge point here. Won't focus, but we are on our way. Again, 39 miles, and then it'll be the final charging stop. And we'll be good to go. We've done 202 miles now. We're putting down some ground, or going over the ground. I was mentioning earlier that it's not so bad road tripping if you can actually get the chargers to work and just run one leg after another. And that is true when you're at lower highway speeds around traffic where you're really, really efficient. That's not so true if you were to do this in cold weather and your efficiency was way down. This would be terrible, because you wouldn't even be able to make it to the chargers, and you'd have to drive even slower. So not entirely when it comes to everything. Also, I don't know what these Landvigators tires or whatever are made out of, but it's not very good rubber if that's what it is, because it's a little damp on the road, and I took a kind of a turn on a highway kind of fast, and just to see what the handling was like, when you turn in a little bit really fast to see if the steering's still responsive, and it was just like sliding. It was insane. Not very good grip at all on these in the damp. They feel like normal tires, but boy, are they not all created equal. So we have made it and delivered the Spark. Comp, how do you think it did?
It did great.
Here, we gotta use this.
It did great. Charges at charge points. That's all we know. That it charged at charge points once we got it to charge points. Everywhere else, no go. Yeah. But overall, little Spark sparked up the road, and you were ripping. And the Model S did its job. It's going to get us back home, and I'm stoked. It was a good drive.
And you said this is adorable?
Yes, this is a really cute car. I actually didn't know what it was gonna look like. I just looked up Chevy Spark and I was like, it could be any of these. And I looked up the year. I don't know what year it is. It is really cute, and this is my roommate Larissa. She also goes by Lacey. We loved it right when we first saw it. I think it's adorable.
Yeah. It's perfect for our needs, just getting to work, getting around town.
Yeah, I don't. We'll see how much I love it. Maybe I'll ask Dave to not get me my own car, and I'll just steal this from Kyle. Comp's testing it out. Yeah, so we'll take it to work tomorrow, 7 a.m. Test it out there. Test out the free charging stations we get at work. There's charging stations across the street as well.
Yeah.
So we'll test it on all the level 2 networks. I don't foresee any issues based on your feedback and Kyle's feedback. You know, it's just fast charging. So I'm really excited for it. And she's going to be my passenger princess when we first whip it around tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for driving it, first of all. I hope you don't have any issues on your way back tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad once we got things figured out. But yeah, I'm glad you guys have it, and it'll be good. It's a great around town car. Very fun to drive, honestly.
Oh, yeah.